let's get on with it. So I've already roughed these, this blank round. I am going to turn, where did I put my props? I put them over here close. Oh yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn a three-sided vase uh, yeah, I will hollow it so it will actually be a vase more than a weed pot. This one's a weed pot. But this is a three-sided piece, as you can tell. So I'm going to turn one of these, but but I'm going to do it a little bit different. This goblet is also three-sided, but if you look at it, you can see that the edges don't quite look the same, and that's because I turned it with a twist. What do you mean by that? Well, with the first one, I've already made my marks, and I did that using my indexing system on the lathe. So each of these lines is 120 degrees out. And I've made corresponding divots over here to put my safety center into. Same with the top for the where the tail center is going to go. So one of the most important things is to make sure you keep these in line. This is number one. Follow this line down, and it corresponds to number one. If you don't number them that way, you're going to end up with something that's not what you're looking for. Number two corresponds to number two. Number three corresponds to number three. I learned this trick from Robbie the Wood Turner, an Irish turner, on YouTube years ago. A lovely fellow. I haven't seen anything from him in several years now. I pray he's well. Uh, so that's where I started learning how to do three-sided things was from Robbie. Now, if you want to turn just a standard three-sided one like this, then what you do is you put hole number one like this in your point, if I can hit it, and hole number one here. And when you start spinning it, that will give you your three sides. And you cut down, you saw the circles that I had on the ends, or you may not have, but you see I've got a circle on here, and I've got a circle on here. So what you do is you cut down to that circle. You can put any kind of a shape you want in here as long as you're careful and you are thinking three-dimensionally. Otherwise, you're going to get in trouble. But it's standard three-sided. I would do it this way: 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to do with a twist. So you go, got to keep it in one, and rather than going to hole one over here, I'm going to go to hole two. If I can hit the hole. Now this, for beginners, this looks a little daunting. It can seem a little scary with this thing flapping around like it is, because it is going to be doing some flapping around. But it's really not that hard. First thing I'm going to do is turn my lathe speed down. See, that looks a little wonky, don't it? That's about 750. Let me put my face shield on. Just in case. And I'm going to start with my roughing gouge. This big thing here. Just to take an easy bite. Lock my spindle down, that might help. Yep. It jumped the hole. You got to be careful. You don't want to take too big a bite, or things like that can happen. And I took too big a bite. Of course, why? Oh, because it's a demo. Always.
Is that wood kind of punky?
It is not punky. It's spalted, but it's not punky. It's spalted grapefruit. It's not real hard, but it's not soft either. Small bites, Bill. What I'm doing right now is just trying to take this down to the line. I don't want to go past that line. And I may have already. Nope, I hasn't. Another problem, a while ago when I was cutting this way, I was cutting uphill. Wood doesn't like to be cut uphill. It's finicky that way. Now you got to do a lot of starting and stopping. That's perfect on this end. So now I want to do the same thing down here. Without getting blinded by my light. This one's going to go a little bit deeper.
Hey, Billy,
Yes, ma'am.
Chuck has a question. I'm not
Uh-oh,
sure what it is exactly. Chuck, can you ask this question?
I went too deep.
Yeah, Billy, you had mentioned wood doesn't like to be turned uphill or downhill.
Okay.
Um, the question that has perplexed me is how the heck do you know the difference before you start turning it, or do you have to wait until you start turning it?
Well, no, it's it depends on the direction of the grain. The grain is running this way in this piece, right? Because
Hmm.
that's how it came out of the tree this way. So at this angle, the grain is like this. And a while ago, I was cutting this way. So I had unsupported fibers out here on the end, and it was wanting to tear up. That's cutting uphill. Cutting down, and it's like running. If you've ever used a plane to plane wood, you don't want to go what's called against the grain. If you've got a little bit of a angle in the wood, say you're running your plane on this piece of wood, and the wood has a little bit of an angle on it. If you go this way, you're going to get tear out because it's picking up the fibers. If you come this way, it's going to lay it down because you're laying those fibers down. So
So
when I started, I was going uphill. I should have been cutting downhill. That's why when I came over here, I could cut this way just fine because I'm cutting downhill. You have to
I
keep
see.
those kinds of things in mind. And if you
Well,
see that little dot right there, that's where my hole was. I mean, that's not where my hole was. My holes are over here. But I got really close and I went a little too deep. Not a
okay.
whole lot too deep, but a little. So I'm going to have to work around that. But
Thank you, Billy.
you're welcome. So now that I've got my end goal defined, I can start working on the shape of the piece. Nah, don't do that. Yeehaw!
Mhm. Billy, can you hear me as you're turning?
I can.
Okay. Somebody wants to know, how did you
Good.
decide on the radius of the circles on each end?
Uh, by guessing Begali, honestly, I didn't math it. I just did it. Because I thought that's what would look. I thought because it looked better that way, but I don't know that it's gonna. That's why I did what I did. Uh, actually, I did the first circle, and then I did the second circle, and to see if I was close, I ran the Fibonacci numbers, and it was close. It wasn't exact, but it was close enough. All right, I need a little more.
I like Heather's comment when you were explaining the wood grain.
Yes,
She says it's like petting your dog from tail towards the head.
exactly.
That's like turning
If you pet a
uphill.
dog backwards from the tail forward, you're going to raise that hair up. Well, that's what
Yes.
you're doing with those fibers. All right, I need a little more out here in the middle. I'm not worried about this being out of shape down here because I'm going to cut a lot of this away for the tenon for when I turn it and put it in the chuck so I can hollow it out. I'm basically right now just looking at my my line, and I need a little more here in the middle. So I'll start going this way. A harder wood would give me a better result. And when you get it caught like that, because the wood is a little soft, it throws it out of the hole. All right.
Billy, I was a comment on your or a question on your comment about a harder would be easier. I would think that would be the opposite of that because a harder wood, if you got a catch, would be more prone to jerk out of the hole, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily. It I have found that the harder grains, as long as you're introducing the tool correctly, like to cut. They don't like to grab and chunk away. But that's just from my perspective.
Okay, thank you, Billy.
So right now, I'm going to come in here. You want to do your sanding. This is 150 grit. You want to do your sanding before you move to another spot, because sanding this after that is going to be hard to do. And I don't want to use my power sander and try to sand it while it's spinning, because that will knock my points away or my edges. And I want to keep my edges if I can. This is not going to be anywhere close to perfect. We're going to call this a rustic piece. I don't like it, but that's the way it is. I do want to try to get rid of that little hump a little if I can. You know, it makes a big difference when you slow down, take your time.
All right, so Billy, the concept is it's basically curving from your 1 to your 3, right? Basically, as it goes around.
1 to 2.
Okay, 1 to 2. Thank you.
I got rid of that hump. I'm happy. I didn't get rid of the tear out. I'm not happy about that. But such as it is. That's actually smooth enough at 150. I don't need to take it any finer. So now we got 1 to 2 done. So let's go from 2 to 3. That's 2. What's that? That's 3. Come on, baby. You know, a steady hand would be really nice. Wish I had one. Because I went a little further here than I wanted to, this may give me an issue, but it may not. We shall see. We shall see. Okay. Okie doke. Now again, downhill. That's one of the reasons I like these safety centers. A little bit of a catch, and it threw it out. And the reason it's doing that is because you've got quite an angle going on here. Barbara Dill is so much better at this off center stuff than me. Easy. Starting to split, but I think I can work with it. I'm almost down to my spot. That'll do. Now, to make this look as even as possible, I need to go to the same spot that I went here, which means just a little bit more. So you just got to keep a checking. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Now I want to work on the middle. This wood don't know it yet, but I'm more stubborn than it is.
You're fearless, Billy.
Fearless? Not
I'm just,
me.
I'm just opening
You
up
got
saying
it.
same thing, just laugh.
Yeah, you got it. Go for it.
That's funny. Go for it is right.
Billy, you're doing an excellent job. Just keep it up.
I'm not fearless. I'm just stubborn.
That was the funny part.
So what I'm watching my shadow line over here, and I want somewhat of a straightish slope. And one of the things that can help you are these red lines. When you go to they will disappear when you get where you want it to be. I'm going to call that right there. Little bit of a bandsaw mark right here.
What is this going to be, Billy? I forgot. Is this a three-sided goblet?
No, it's going to be a three-sided vase, I hope.
Oh, okay.
Twist.
Hey, Billy, what's your offset from the center point? 3/8 of an inch or something?
Over here is about a half inch on this
Okay.
one. This one is about a half, and from this thing.
Yes, sir.
And this one is about 3/8.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sheila White says, I think I was too fearful when I did one of these. Got very little twist and it wasn't even. I don't think I did the circles to index it. Now I know better. Thanks, Billy.
You're welcome. All right, come on. All right, quit wiggling all over the place. You'll be a lot happier. Or I will be a lot happier. Let me put it that way.
Don't look like you're catching much on there.
Do what?
It don't look like you're catching much. Wow.
Put some crank on that and see what that does.
Stand back, everybody.
La 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 la.
So you're running this at 350?
See what happens when you slow down and take smaller bites?
Leonard said he's hiding behind you.
A little more. That's pretty close. Did I mention this one's going to be rustic?
Yep.
Okay, good. Ooh, that's just pert near perfect. Pert near being the operative word. Now you still got my red line there. And it's got a little bit of a hump right there. So now and if y'all are watching the shadow line, you might be able to see that hump. This ain't going to be the prettiest one I ever made. I'll tell you that. Taint. But see, that's a much better cut. And that's almost perfect. So boy, that grapefruit's got some, I don't know if y'all can see that. It's got some curl in it. It
Yes,
does,
we
it does.
That's purty.
Hey, Bill, how would you rate the wood? I mean, how's it feel turning?
Well, I love turning this spalted grapefruit. It's nice. I've turned several pieces of it already.
Hey,
Right now,
Billy?
it's still this thing's got more bumps than the Kardashian sisters, but we're going to smooth some of that out.
A couple of people have commented that you wouldn't have as much splitting out or something if you were using a smaller gouge. Why are you using, can you explain why you're using the big one? I don't think he can hear me.
He probably can't hear you over the sander, Brenda.
Yeah, probably not.
I misjudged the size of the blank that I needed for this. Got some natural edge here. Got a little bit of a bandsaw curve here from where I cut it. It was a bowl blank originally, but it had crack in it running through the middle. So I cut this into two blanks to do this with. Right
Billy,
now, that's what?
Billy, we had a question why you were using such a big roughing gouge.
Uh-huh.
Could you use a smaller one? Do you have to use one that size?
No, you don't have to use one this size. I like this one. I have,
So you're using the big one just because it's your preference?
yes, for a couple of
Okay.
reasons. You see the difference in shape? See how this one has, it's more rounded this way?
Yeah.
I don't like the way these cut. This one I find that I have better control of, and in fact, it almost works like a skew from time
What I
to
was
because
thinking.
of the way you can position it. And I can do more things with it. I can cut I can cut mortises with it. It's just you just put it up on the end and cut a mortise. That curl is pretty. Too bad this piece ain't gonna match it. You know what? I can do that. If you're careful, if you're careful, you can sand this once you get it between centers too, just by rotating it back and forth. I want to try to clean this up a little bit because right now it's uglier than Rosie O'Donnell. I'm not worried about the ends because I'm going to cut them off. I just don't like that. When I first got started, I was a little anxious. A little anxious? Yeah, a little anxious. Uh, I should have come down a little more right in here to give it more of an angle. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I suppose I could try. But you see, it's got the twist, which is what I was going for. I just left this high here on this, down toward this end. So let's get real brave.
Oh.
I don't remember which hole that was. I'm going to be cutting there. So it had to be like that. My story, and I'm sticking to it. But now I need to know what I need to do. I mean, I need to know now I know what I need to do. And I need to take some of this out down in here. And I know this is right because this is how I'm cutting. So even though I can't see my numbers anymore, I have my cut plane right here. So it's easy for me to put back into the place as long as I don't get overzealous. See what that dude. That may be better. Maybe better.
Hey, Billy,
Yeah.
I've got a comment to share with you. Sandy
Yeah.
says, Billy, I love watching your demo. You make me laugh and learn new techniques at the same time.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad I can make somebody laugh. All right, that one and that one. Now, how much to take off? I don't know. We'll just go until I'm happy. You know, smoother cuts would make for an easier finish. Billy. Without being so jumpy all around all over the. Ooh, doggy. I need to clean that up a little bit. That's nastier than the Miley Cyrus video. Ah, don't approach the wood until you're ready to cut, stupid. Better. Better-ish. I don't think I cut this one a second time yet. Did I? No, I don't think I did. Don't tell Sandy. I mean, Sue, not Sandy. Don't tell Sue. Right there. La 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 la. That'll work. Except for all that lovely tear out. How many people have jumped ship already?
You only lost about 4.
Well, that ain't bad.
Now you've
Hey,
lost 7.
hey, honey, come watch this comedy show.
No, that's great.
Watch this fool think he can turn. All right. Now I'm going to put a tenon down here so I can shuck it up.
Billy Dunn says, he's here until the ship sinks or doesn't.
Well, thank you. It may sink. It may sink. I'm going to come in and do a peeling cut or a planing cut, I should say. You know, that ain't bad. I'm using a Vic Mark chuck, so I'm going to make a dovetail. Just to give it a little more bite. Before I put it in the chuck, almost got ahead of myself. I want to round this corner off just a little. just to give it some shape. That's just nasty. Shame on you. You're the one that did it, dummy. Yep, I am. Get this 800-pound chuck mounted up. I do like these 120s, but man, they're heavy. Ow. My elbow poker got my thumb. Let's make sure before I tighten that we're centered. A lot of turners frequently ask, well, what's better to use, a mortise or a tenon? My answer to that is, well, it depends on what you want to do. In a case like this, where the grain's running this way, a compression fit, like on a tenon, I think works better and is stronger. On a bowl, with this cross grain, this is me, not everybody. I don't like tenons because the grain's running this way and you're clamped on it this way. And if you apply enough pressure or get a strong enough catch, depending on the species of wood, you're going to rip that tenon right off. So in those cases, for bowls, I almost always use a mortise. Again, that's just me. All right, we're center. I can't get rid of my elbow poker. I'm going to use my bowl couch since it's handy. And I'm going to, come on now, behave yourself. Let's change views in just a second. Move this camera over so maybe you can see. All right, let me. Oh, one of my cameras died. Wonder if the other one did. Y'all still have me?
Yes.
Yes, the overhead.
Okay.
Yes, of
All right.
course. Hey, everything's good. Everything's good, Billy.
Absolutely.
You scared me for a minute.
No, we're watching.
We just have trouble finding our unmute button and
Oh, it's okay.
Dave, yes, you're right.
Oops.
That's a good long way away from the lathe. Now towards you.
Come on. Yeah, right there. Now what I'm going to do to start my hollowing, I have this, I don't know, it's an off size. I bought it because it was cheaper than the 3/4 inch, but it's almost 3/4 of an inch. Morse taper.
It's enormous.
This is what I do all my depth drilling with. And I forgot to see how far in I want to go. Okay, now I know how far in I want to go. I was just thinking, this one was a whole lot easier to do. And the reason it was is because you're going down to the same shape. No, you can't see that. This one is a lot easier, without the twist, because you're going down and following that same shadow line. You put a twist in them, they get difficult. It's kind of hard to tell where you are sometimes.
Only when you get old.
Beg pardon?
No, that makes a lot of sense. It's got to
I
have
said
a
only
show
when
all
you
the
get
time.
old.
I have a feeling if you're 25 and you don't see a shadow line when you got a twist, you got a problem with your eyes.
And whoever said that about only when you get old needs to remember that most of us on here are old.
That's right. We're the majority here.
Boy, right now is when I need one of those Jim Duxbury crank wheels. That's far enough. I like that tool. Now we got to get rid of that stuff. But that's okay. We know how. Now, since that's ingrain, I'm going to clean the end of this up with a round nose scraper. I ain't even close. Better. Not there yet. Got to get rid of my holes. That'll work. That will work. Now to hollow this, if when I was a smart man, and which nobody's ever accused me of being, I would use my elbow tool, but it takes a while to set up. So I'm going to take this little Trent Bosch mini hollower. I'm not going to be able to get terribly deep with it. I can get almost to the bottom though. Yeah, maybe I did get to the bottom. You want to do this as smoothly as you can because you're not going to be able to get down in there and sand this. Number one. Number two, if you get too carried away, remember these twists are coming this way. If you get too carried away, you can actually cut through a section. Now, that might look pretty cool as long as it happened on all three of them and you didn't blow the piece up. And my air compressor kicked on.
We can't hear it, Billy.
Billy, Leonard would like you to show
So
him
how are
what
we
that
gonna
tool was.
how are we gonna sand this? Well, the answer is carefully.
Alan?
And
Billy, can you show us that tool before you start sanding? Leonard would like to see it.
all right, let my air compressor die first because I
We
can't
can't hear
you
it,
over.
Billy.
Yeah,
We
but
can't
I
hear your
can.
air compressor.
I can
I'll
hear
hear
it, and
us
I
now.
can't hear you.
Aha.
Okay. Question was,
Leonard would like to see a closer look of the tool you just had in your hand.
oh, this one.
That one.
It's one of Trent Bosch's mini hollowing tools.
So is that got flat spots on it, Billy, on the top and bottom, or is it completely round?
It's flat. Can you see?
Okay. How about the shaft where your fingers are? Is that flat too, or no?
No, it's round.
Okay.
The shaft is round, but it's flattened here on the cutting edge.
Yep.
Is that carbide?
It is not carbide. I don't know. Trent Bosch makes them and sells them. I'm assuming it's high speed steel, but I don't know for sure.
How do you sharpen it? How do you hold it and sharpen it?
I take it out of the handle and just put it on the platform. I'll set my angle the same as the angle that's on it,
Right. I got you. Right.
and then I'll just.
Right.
Haven't had to sharpen it yet.
Show us when you do.
Uh-oh, Billy. What'd we do?
What
There we
happened?
go. Never mind.
Somebody said, "I don't want to watch sanding. I want to look at this."
Yeah.
We just had an oops moment,
At a what moment?
an oops moment.
Yeah,
Bill,
all right.
every has been very enjoyable tonight. Please, just continue. It's fun.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I am.
Me, not so much. Whose crazy idea was it to do a twisted vase anyway?
You need to make some of those Dean Grimes sanding tools, Billy.
Oh yeah, it was mine. Ooh. The inside of that is rougher than the UFC match. I didn't think to make. See, I have things for hollowing inside vessels.
There you go.
This is an old Cincinnati Reds giveaway bat. If you went to one of their games, I cut a X in the handle up here and stuck some sandpaper in it. It works great. Down on this end, I taped some sandpaper over it, And that works pretty good on the inside of a small piece. But this piece is too small for that. And this is just an apricot branch that I roughly turned and did the same thing, cut a X in it and put some paper on it. So you can come up with all kinds of things. And I'm just not comfortable enough sticking my finger any further inside there than I am already.
I wouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
please don't do it.
Don't do that.
No, don't do it at all.
So
You already showed us what you have.
You can't see in it anyways.
Hey, think
that's
about
right.
it.
Well, but if somebody sticks their finger in it, they'd be able to feel it. But I'm not worried about this because this piece is never leaving the shop. This will go to the burn pit, which is a shame because that curl and that right there in that one area, that curl is just crazy.
There's nothing wrong with the piece that you're making tonight.
Instead of taking
Oh,
it to the burn pile, why don't you just
No.
maybe just return it, turn it into something else?
I was thinking about that as I was looking at that curl, Brenda. I
Yeah,
could,
like
I could
Leonard
just,
just said, you can send
I
it to
could
me.
just, in fact, let's do that. What happens if you're turning a three-sided piece and it goes south? What do you do then?
Is this going to be a recovery piece now?
You do
Just
this.
round it out and make it round.
No, not really, not completely. We'll see how. Where this will tell us how inaccurate my cutting was on the twist. Where are we at time wise, Scott?
You got plenty of time, Billy.
You have all night. You have all night.
We only have 3 or 4 more gallery pieces, so you got plenty of time.
Okay. Well, this ain't gonna take long. Now I'm coming from the thicker part to the thinner part, so I'm cutting downhill all the way. And I'm doing this because if Dane was here, he'd say, "Do it, Billy, do it."
Yeah, you got plenty of time, Billy. It's not even 8 o'clock your time yet.
Some places I was close, and other places I wasn't so close. Down here's not bad as far as how that looks goes.
Can you hit us with that overhead view again?
That's where I was going. I realized when I was pointing stuff out to you that I wasn't showing you right. So that's about the same as that, which is about the same as that. Down here on this end, nope, no, not even close. So, but without all the tear out and stuff, when it was all said and done, I don't think anybody would have noticed. I'm not as good cutting left-handed as I am right. That's still going to be an awful ugly weed pot, but look at that curl. I don't like that at all. I don't. Anyway, I'll figure out something to do with this. Maybe. I don't really feel like wasting any more time on it tonight, though. I really don't. So that's how not to do. That's how not to do a three-sided vase with a twist.
Well,
From where I was sitting.
But we learned something. I
no,
learned something. See, I do three-sided boxes with a twist, and I think the reason that they always come out rather successful is because I'm not putting a taper on the box. I think that's what got me here. The box is pretty much the same dimension top to bottom, and it twists. And that's easy to do.
well, I mean, the whole night was enjoyable, Bill.